Every business conflict we face has an ethical dilemma at its core, usually related to a lack of trust, integrity, honesty, or accountability. Now, more than ever, these ethical dilemmas can happen at any time in any organization by anyone at any level. Ignoring these dilemmas or believing that everyone just knows what to do can be enormously expensive. So I want you to imagine yourself in the following situation. A coworker in your organization comes to your office late one night and tells you that one of your leaders has killed a couple of people, is raping the girls in the plant when they ask for company benefits, and has stolen money from the company, is starting a new business, and is now selling service back to the company. And then this informant, shaking in the boots, terrified, looks you in the eye and says, "This is your job. What are you going to do to fix it?" Hi, I'm Marcy Maslov, and this is my story. This is a real situation that happened to me and inspired me to create eFactor, the educational board game of business ethics. I created eFactor to create a safe space for people to learn how to respond to these kinds of situations. And I give people a safe and fun, creative space to learn how to identify ethical dilemmas and practice solving them. If you have been through any level of an ethical scenario where someone has asked you to do something unethical, you know how uncomfortable these situations can get. Hopefully, you've not been through anything as severe as mine, and it has more story. If you book me, I'll tell you more. But this kind of scenario and most ethical dilemmas have one thing in common. Usually we are thrown into the middle of the mess, unprepared, and we are asked for an immediate response. We're not given time to think. So how would you respond to this informant right here, right now? For the most part, we just expect everyone to know what to do. In school, however, we don't teach how to respond to ethical dilemmas, how to work with people on things that we don't understand or are unprepared for. Instead, what we focus on is just performing the technical aspects of our jobs. I have actually had people say to me, "We can't teach ethics," or "Ethics is boring and I'm only here because it's mandatory. So what do we need to spend so much time on this for?" Well, these assumptions can get us into trouble, and a lack of appropriate parameters for acceptable behavior allows everybody but us to make the decisions on what to do that could affect our business, our reputation, our finances. That is just unacceptable to me, especially when I need to spend 4 hours to renew my professional license, and I need an ethics class to do that. So that's why I speak on the topic of positive value of ethics, and I've created a gamified approach to earning your continuing professional education credits, or CPE. Using a game like eFactor is not a frivolous experience. It makes the time fly by really, really fast, and it's not just a way of teaching ethics. In my programs, it's a seriously fun, creative, effective way to teach critical thinking, decision-making, how to solve ethical dilemmas in practical ways, and to talk with other people and build relationships in your professional space. In fact, 90% of gamified content is retained as opposed to just 10 or 15% from a typical lecture. So if you want your ethics training to stick and have some practical application, using an educational game is one of the best ways to go. In my programs, we engage participants to experience real life ethical dilemmas, real situations like the one I just gave you, or how to respond to someone who's asked you to pay a bribe, or how do you respond to someone who's asked to falsify financial information or records for the business, or do something that you know is wrong. We facilitate the discussion about what is business ethics to start with, and what is an ethical dilemma, What are unethical behaviors that we consider unacceptable in our organization, and what we can do to reduce the risk and engage all stakeholders in enhancing the ethical culture of our workplace. And yes, my programs do offer continuing professional education credits and CEUs for many different professions. We offer lunch and learns, 1 to 4 hour ethics workshops for credit, keynote presentations, and conference breakout sessions. We also go in-house for organizations with large accounting and legal teams to provide customized training dealing with specific ethical dilemmas or topics the organization wants to resolve. There is nothing in the rule book that says ethics training, or any training for that matter, has to be boring. I am a proponent of having some fun, learning while we earn our credits, and actually creating something that we can use immediately after we hear the message. So give us a call to learn more about eFactor and book us for your next event or conference. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you so much for your time.